You done fucked it up, DC! And then you kind of didn't, but you did fuck that up. You know, it's difficult.
Was, at least for myself, more entertaining. It's not like it's a bad film, but there's a lot of scenes I loved, a lot of stuff that I wish just wasn't in the movie, and also just stuff that I wish they'd put in the film that would have just made it better.
The issue I have here, though, is Zack Snyder seems to be one of those people who just does not know how to portray Superman. In fact, Zack Snyder seems to be one of those people who just isn't all that gifted at directing people. He's more gifted at directing the scenario, the set, the cinematography. He's better at making a movie look good than feel good. And when you're making a movie about a relatively stoic, untouchable character like Superman, those two things stack on top of each other and create a fairly lackluster performance, unfortunately.
And yes, we hit all those. But I was telling most of you guys here after we came out of the movie, what is becoming more and more apparent to me, even with Man of Steel, and I love Man of Steel, I love it, but what is becoming apparent to me is that Zack Snyder is a visionary film director with a lot of gusto and grand vision, but he is not a skilled storyteller, nor is he very good in an editing room.
This looks great, and that's what you get when you're pitched as a visionary director. But any real moment in this movie that tried to delve deeper into the characters just came across as flat.
You weren't as emotionally invested as you should have been.
Because I just don't know that Zack Snyder knows how to do that. Zack Snyder's strengths come from when you have 300 Spartans fighting 1,000,000 Persians, and they just gotta fight and defend their land. Pretty simple, but that's where home is for him, right? Stay in the pocket.
There were a lot, this was a story with some great scenes put in very odd and peculiar orders that stopped at the wrong times and then picked up at the wrong times throughout the film. Like saying that you'd have a set of A, B, and C happening, and all of a sudden you were at Q, and then back to A again. Like it was very jarring in its editing.
And DC, you could tell it's almost sad to see this. They're trying so hard.
According to the Change.org petition, Zack Snyder is not the person to bring the Justice League to the big screen. He's had 2 chances now to adapt DC characters and has produced middling results.
And not to be Marvel, to catch up with Marvel. Don't say that again, because you're wrong on that, because they're doing dark, Marvel's doing light.
Am I the only one that didn't hate the movie?
Plans is due to something that seems to happen a lot in Zack Snyder movies, and that is he just doesn't think he needs to explain certain things. And I don't believe this is due to any negligence or incompetence on his part, but rather just because of his huge enthusiasm for what he's doing. He gets so carried away that he doesn't realize the audience is not going to understand certain things.
There's truth, and there's justice, there's goodness, and those are worth fighting for. The things that make them heroes and not anti-heroes is that they choose the good.